piece of legislation. I am also in support of 35-0042. That was something that we discussed at the beginning of the legislature, where we're asking for the rules of the legislature to be changed to re-enable the minority caucus to be formed. As you know, at the beginning of the term, the legislature voted to use the old rules from the 34th, and we were able to form under that. And when we came back 2 weeks later, we changed the rules, and that caused this minority caucus to basically disappear. So by amending the rules, we would be able to formulate once again. But I wanted to just quickly say something in regards to Bill 35-0009. I love the idea of the bill celebrating Juneteenth, because if you know the history of Juneteenth, as I spoke to the sponsor, my only concern is I kind of wish that we had swapped it out with another holiday, because my concern with it is the cost. Because by adding another holiday, that is another day that we have to worry about paying individuals to be home, and I'm worried about the dollar amount that we keep adding holidays in this territory. So I love Juneteenth. I think it should be a part of our community because of what it's for when it comes to the freeing of slaves. But I really, really think when we are going to make decisions like this, we also have to look at the financial aspect of it. So thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the time, and I will vote accordingly. Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Senator Francis Halliger. I will now recognize Senator Johnson for his 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this time. I am raising support of most of these measures, and I do have great concern with Bill number 35009, Juneteenth. I don't have an issue with Juneteenth. My issue is the cost. Have anyone did analysis cost to find out what a holiday in the Virgin Islands costs, especially with the essential employees? When you talk about policemen, correction officers, marshal, every holiday is double time. Double time. And we're talking about increasing the budget. The analysis wasn't done. At least I haven't seen proof of the analysis. And that's my issue with this particular holiday. Not the holiday itself. The absorbent costs with overtime, and not overtime, but holiday pay. Double time for police, correction, firemen.
1 minute.
That's double time. So we need to really consider looking at their costs and make sure we do a real good analysis. Today I reached out to the finance chair and asked if she had that cost analysis, and she said she was reaching out trying to get some numbers and didn't get it. But at the appropriate time, I will be voting for all the remaining measures, and I'm glad that the majority have come on board with Bill number 350042, where the minority will be able to caucus. I thank you guys for that. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. Just be mindful that first responders, even on Juneteenth, when everyone else is actually home and placed on administrative leave, that they still have to work without compensation. So that's kind of the trade-off there on that matter. But Senator DeGraff, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening to everyone. So you say on a federal holiday, you don't get paid, first responders don't get paid on a federal holiday.
Double time. They don't get paid double time.
They don't get paid double time, but they get time and a half?
Yes.
Okay. And Juneteenth is a federal holiday. The main issue I have with Juneteenth really wasn't about the pay. The issue I had was it should be recognized. I support that. But I always talk about March 31st, 2017, when we became U.S. citizens, but weren't recognized until 10 years later. And, we always jump to everybody else aid and thing, but nobody don't recognize us. So that was my problem with Juneteenth. I said it then, I said no. But I stand in support of all the other bills, and I'll vote accordingly at the time. Thank you for the time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator DeGraff. Senator Carrion, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening to my colleagues. Yes, it's evening time already. It's been a long day, and we still have another block to go. But I rise in support of all the measures in Block 4, Bill 35-0009, establishing and enacting the national holiday of Juneteenth. What the colleagues is basically doing is a federal holiday and making sure that our local code is aligned to that and is reflected within our holidays established. So it's not a new holiday, it's a federal holiday that's been established. And in regards to other bills, Bill 35-0026, I commend the sponsor of the bill. We heard testimony in the Committee of Jurisdiction in regards to the Federal Home Loan Bank and how it would create another layer of protection for our insurance industry in the territory. Regards to Bill 35-0049, establishing the local food and farm council in accordance with the mandate. I also commend the bill sponsor. We created a agricultural plan, and now we have to ensure that, and we made sure, this body made sure that it's funded. Now we have to ensure that there is a advisory council to oversee the work and as they move forward with it. And
30
Bill
seconds.
35-0068, we understand this is needed. We have some vacancies in many of our boards. So the Board of Medical Examiner will serve as temporary as the facto of board members. Bill 35-0042 is amending the rules of provision, the rules of legislature to allow the minority to be able to caucus and do business accordingly. So thank you, Mr. President. I will vote in affirmative on these measures.
Thank you very much, Senator Carrion. Senator Javon E. James Sr., you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Good evening, greetings to everyone. I stand in full support of every single one of these measures that we have in this block. And I really look forward to seeing Bill number 35-0049, which speaks to establishing a local food and farm council to be in accordance with the mandates of the Virgin Islands Agricultural Plan that was recently heard in the Committee on Economic Development and Agriculture and found its way to Rules and Judiciary. I have a lot of faith in this bill because it speaks to individuals from the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority, UVI School of Agriculture, the Dean of the UVI School of Agriculture, and the list goes on, to be able to assist the Department of Agriculture to, like I said before, to carry out the Territorial Agricultural Plan. As far as Bill number 35-0026, it is a no-brainer.
1 minute.
Recently, we had a discussion in the Committee of Jurisdiction regarding insurers becoming members of a federal home loan bank. So I will be supporting that. As far as Juneteenth, I support that bill in the Committee of Jurisdiction, so I'm not going to contradict myself here today. And lastly, when it comes to Bill number 35-0068, I support that as well, which speaks to authorizing the members of the Board of Medical Examiners to serve temporarily
30 seconds.
as de facto board members. That way we can continue to do the business of the people. And as far as the minority being able to caucus and establish themselves, I don't see anything with that. Let's just make things happen for the Virgin Islands. Thank you, Mr. President, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Javon E. James Sr. Next, we'll recognize Senator Angel Bolquez Jr. for his 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, colleagues, I rise in support of all the measures in this block, starting off with Juneteenth. All 50 states and Washington, D.C. recognize Juneteenth as a holiday. 21 states and D.C. have designated it as a permanently paid legal holiday through legislation or executive action. And I hope that the Virgin Islands, too, will join those states and D.C. I rise in support of Bill number 35-0026, concerning and relating to insurers becoming members of the Federal Home Loan Bank for matters relating thereto. 35-0049, another step in food security for the people of the Virgin Islands as we try to fulfill the mandates of the agricultural plan and move forward in more security in our food as a nation. Bill number 350068 concerning the Board of Medical Examiners.
1 minute.
Excellent amendment in order to have de facto board members in order for operations to continue in that sector of our operations as a government. And of course, 35-0042, making changes so that the minority can caucus. Mr. President, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Bolkes Jr. Next, we'll hear from Senator Donna Fred Gregory. You're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I too rise in support of these measures in this particular block. And I would first start with Bill number 35-0042, which allows the minority caucus to, which allows the minority senators to establish a caucus. Bill number 35-0049, of course, is no stranger to myself and the senators of this particular institution. We know that we've been working on the Farm Bill for quite some time and the Agricultural Plan for quite some time, and this helps to move forward Mandate 5 of the Virgin Islands Agriculture Plan. So we are truly, in fact, doing what we said we were going to do as it relates to agriculture in the Virgin Islands. Bill number 35-0026, I'm also the sponsor of that measure, the Federal Home Loan Bank. This allows the Virgin Islands insurers, domiciled insurance companies in the Virgin Islands to participate in the Federal Home Loan Bank of New York, which also allows the Virgin Islands insured to see possible reductions in their insurance bills, in addition to ensuring that there is security if they're in the event of a storm. And
30 seconds.
The issue that my other colleagues discuss as it relates to Juneteenth is also of concern to me, but I believe that the amount that we are concerned about is in fact negligible. So I am in fact in support of the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act. Thank you, Mr. President, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Fred Gregory. Senator Milton E. Potter, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I rise in support of all of the initiatives in this block, beginning with the Juneteenth holiday bill, bill number 35-0009. This bill allows us to be aligned with the federal laws commemorating the emancipation of enslaved Africans in the United States. We've always been at the forefront in the Virgin Islands of these types of progressive measures, and I fully support this measure as an opportunity for us to be in full solidarity with our brothers and sisters on the mainland. Now, with regards to the next item, bill number 35-0026, I support the opportunities for local insurance companies to be a part of the Federal Home Loan Bank. It provides us and the companies with additional financial resources, particularly during periods of significant disasters.
1 minute.
So, that is a good opportunity for the companies, and it will also positively impact citizens in the Virgin Islands. Bill number 35-0049 is an initiative that furthers our territorial agricultural plan. So, we import 98% of our foods, and this bill allows us to develop the local food and farm council, just in furtherance of the implementation of our territorial agricultural
30 seconds.
plan. And finally, bill number 35-0068, an act authorizing the members of the Board of the Medical Examiners to serve temporarily as de facto members of the boards. It makes sense. It makes sense for us to do so. The bill number 35-0042, an act amending the rules of the 35th legislature, allowing minorities to caucus and recognizing this group. Some of my favorite people are members of the minority. So I fully support their ability to caucus and function as a body. Mr. President, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Potter. Senator Maurice C. James, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I support all the measures in this block. When it comes to 35-0009, we observe all the other national holidays, so this just adds one more to the Virgin Islands. I supported 35-0026 in the Committee of Jurisdiction, or the Rules Committee. And of course, it deals with adding our insurers and banks to membership, which would result in a gain and a benefit to our community. The Act, Bill number 35-0049, simply implements the mandates of the agricultural plan, and so it's important if we create plans that we in fact put them into action, and that will begin, in a sense, activating the agricultural plan.
1 minute.
When it comes to the Board of Medical Examiners, that is a easy one in the sense that we want business to continue, and we want these boards to continue functioning, so it's important that when there are not enough members that we have de facto. And of course, with respect to Bill number 35-0042,
30 seconds.
we are in a democracy, and in a democracy, the minority should always have a voice. So therefore, I support that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator James. Senator Ray Fonseca, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Yes, blessings and pleasant good evening to all the listening audience. You know, I rise in full support of Bill number 35-009. You know, our history as black people, beginning with the African slave trade, must be fully supported, taught, and celebrated. Black American history has been suppressed and oppressed. America was built on the backs of our ancestors. Look around here in this 35th legislature today. All of we in here is African American ancestors, all of we. Juneteenth is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans, deriving its name from combining June and 19th. It is celebrated on the anniversary of General Order Number 3 issued by Major General Gordon Gringer on June 19, 1965, proclaiming freedom for slaves in Galveston, Texas. It is observed annually in the United States.
30 seconds.
This particular Juneteenth Day is extremely important in the Virgin Islands and must be celebrated. I support all of the other 4 bills in block number 4. And at the appropriate time, I will be casting my vote. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Fonseca. Next, we'll hear from Senator Diane T. Capehart. You recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good night, colleagues. They said we don't walk. Here we are. It's minutes to 7, and we walking still. Mr. President, I am in support of all these measures before us today. I understand the significance of the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act that we locally must be able to act on making this law here in the VI. So I am in full support of it. Bill number 35-0026 and 35-0049 are 2 measures that I support fully that I have also co-sponsored on. So I am in support of that. For parity purposes, I just want to say Bill number 35-0042. Colleagues, I believe for fairness, I believe that you also should be able to form a minority caucus. So I am in full support of all these measures before us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Capehart. Senator Joseph, Caller Joseph, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and a pleasant good evening to everyone. I, like my fellow colleagues, stand in support of all the bills being considered this evening in Block 4. I do have one concern with one bill, and that's 35-0042. And I will vote on that based on my conscience at the appropriate time. But I just want to really talk about our Juneteenth Day, how we as a people have come so far, and we should celebrate these occasions when it is demonstrated in history that we are resilient people who can overcome.
1 minute.
And so I am definitely in support of that. Another item, and this goes towards our ability to be self-sufficient and to be able to have a level of sustainability with food security, is bill number 35-049. So I want to really say that these are some really critical measures that we are working on to move our territory forward, as well as to celebrate our history and our connection with the United States. Finally, I would like to say that the bill number 35-0068, the medical examiners, we in the 34th legislature had extended it a number of times, and so now, because we have a limited amount of persons who are available to sit on this board, and we want to assure that the movement keeps going as far as getting persons certified, that is in place. Mr. President, I thank you for the time, and I will vote accordingly on most of these bills. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. At this time, we'll recognize Senator Kenneth L. Gittins, for his 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening to all. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I rise in support of all the measures in this block, to include bill number 35-0042, where they're accusing us of saying that they can't caucus with each other. Nothing tal go so. Let's not mislead people. But we're going to support it anyway. We got bigger fish to fry. And I'm going to tell you all this. We are celebrating 175th emancipation celebration. Yet still, people want to keep us in bondage. And I'm going straight to the next block already, this vital contract, all right? But as the words spoken by Marcus Garvey and later sung by the great Bob Marley, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery.
1 minute.
All right? None but ourselves can free our minds. Remember that. Think for yourself. Now, colleagues, ask yourself why. Why didn't Vital take WAPA to court on their own? Obviously, they don't want certain items to be revealed. That's discovery. Anytime they were to take this matter to court. Why they want us to write a blank check?
30 seconds.
And why they want it now, without any documentation. Remember, this company that we're talking about is known for paying bribes to government officials. I didn't say so. The reports, the investigations tell you that. California Trucking Company sues Vital for inflating fuel prices. Vital paid $135 million to resolve South American bribery cases, including fuel oil pricing. Vital pays $164 million to resolve U.S. allegations of oil bribes in Latin America, and vital to pay 95.7 million to settle fraud, market manipulation charges. I didn't make it up. I am not co-signing to this. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittins. And if the Madam Timekeeper could put 2 minutes on the clock for me, I stand in support of most, if not all, well, actually all of the measures in this block number 4. And I'll quickly just like to go down each of them real quickly. And of course, the Juneteenth recognition here in the Virgin Islands as a local legal holiday makes sense. It's federally recognized already, and in all fairness, it brings equity and parity because our first responders, do have to work while all of the non-essential employees get the day off. It's only fair that those individuals are compensated for their work during that time. Of course, the federal home loan program is long overdue. It is something that I look forward to us putting in place. And again, what it does is build a level of a line of credit. We saw what happened during the recent bank crisis
1 minute.
with the Silicon Valley, and the fact that the government was able to step in and be able to make sure that individuals were compensated there for that. The agriculture plan that continue to exist, and I must commend the work that have been done by the Commissioner of Agriculture as well as the President of the University of the Virgin Islands as they continue to move the agriculture plan forward. And now that we'll be able to make sure that there is a council
30 seconds.
that's put in place is rightfully the Board of Examiners. Again, that's a measure that I am moving forward in respect to making sure that they serve as the de facto board in the absence of other board members. And of course, I fully support the 35-0042. In order for the majority to be effective, we have to have a strong minority. And I certainly support the check and balance within the legislative body, and I look forward to continue to work with my minority members as we move on the work and the people of the Virgin Islands. Madam Clerk, at this time, in the nick of time, please call up the measures in this block for a vote.
Consideration of Bill number 35-0009, an act amending Title I, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 11, Section 171A, relating to the observance of national holidays and enacting the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act to declare June 19 a legal holiday in the Virgin Islands. This concludes the reading of the bill, Mr. President.
Thank you. Roll call on Bill 35-0009. Madam Clerk.
Senator Marvin Blyden? Senator Blyden? Yea. Senator Angel Bolkels Jr.? Senator Bolkels Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart? Senator Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion? Senator Carrion, yea. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff? Yes. Senator DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca? Yes. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell Francis Jr.? Yea. Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger? Yes. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, yea. Senator Donna Fred Gregory? Yes. Senator Donna Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins? Yes. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins, yes. Senator Maurice James? Yes. Senator Maurice James, yes. Senator Giovanni James Sr.? Yes. Senator James Sr., yes. Senator Franklin D. Johnson? Senator Johnson? Senator Johnson? Yes. Yes. Senator Carla Joseph? Yes. Senator Carla Joseph? Yes. Senator Milton Potter? Yes. Senator Potter? Yes. Mr. President, 15 years.
Thank you very much. Bill number 35-0009, an act amending Title 1, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 11, Section 171A, relating to the observance of the national holidays and enacting the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act to declare June 19th a legal holiday in the Virgin Islands, have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Bill number 35-0026, an act amending Title 22, Virgin Islands Code, relating to insurers becoming members of a federal home loan bank and matters relating thereto.
Roll call on Bill 35-0026.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yea. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yeah.
Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Senator Francis Heiliger, yea. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, yea. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, yea. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., yea. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Johnson, yea. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yea. Senator Milton Potter. Senator Potter, yea. Mr. President, we have 15 yeas.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, Bill number 35-0026, an act amending Title 22 Virgin Islands Code relating to the insurers becoming members of a federal home loan bank and matters relating thereto have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Bill number 35-0049, an act amending Title 7, Chapter 1 of the Virgin Islands Code by adding Subchapter 8, establishing a local food and farm council in accordance with Mandate 5 of the Virgin Islands Agricultural Plan.
Roll call on Bill number 35-0049.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yea. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yeah.
Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Senator Francis Heiliger, yea. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, yea. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, yea. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., yea. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Johnson, yea. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yea. Senator Milton Potter. Senator Potter, yea. Mr. President, 15 yeas.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Bill number 35-0049, an act amending Title 7, Chapter 1 of the Virgin Islands Code by adding Subchapter 8, establishing a local food and farm council in accordance with Mandate 5 of the Virgin Islands Agriculture Plan, have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Madam Clerk, please call up the next item.
Bill number 35-0068, an act authorizing the members of the Board of Medical Examiners to serve temporarily as de facto board members of boards established under Title 3 Virgin Islands Code, Section 415, if a board does not have enough members to establish a quorum.
Roll call on Bill number 35-0068.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yay. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, yay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Yes. Senator Fonseca, yay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr. Yay. Senator Francis Jr., yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Yes. Senator Francis Heiliger, yay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Yes. Senator Fred Gregory, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Yes. Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Maurice C. James. Yes. Senator James, yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Yes. Senator James Sr., yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Yes. Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Milton Potter. Yes. Senator Potter, yay. Mr. President, 15 yeas.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Bill number 35-0068, an act authorizing the members of the Board of Medical Examiners to serve temporarily as de facto board members of board established under Title III Virgin Islands Code, Section 415. If a board does not have enough members to establish a quorum, have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Madam Clerk, please call up the next item.
Bill number 35-0042, an act amending the rules of the 35th Legislature of the Virgin Islands, Rule 205A, by removing the provisions that a minority caucus must consist of not less than 5 senators.
Roll call on Bill 35-0042.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Yay. Senator Blyden, yay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Yay. Senator Bolquez Jr., yay. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yay. Senator Samuel Carrion. Yes. Senator Carrion, yay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Yes. Senator DeGraff, yay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Yes. Senator Fonseca, yay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis Jr., yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Yes. Senator Francis Heiliger, yay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Yes. Senator Fred Gregory, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Yes. Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Yes. Senator James Sr., yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Yes. Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla Joseph. Senator Joseph? Yes. Senator Joseph? Yay. Senator Milton Potter? Yes. Senator Potter? Yay. Mr. President, we have 15 yeas. Mr. President, we have 15 yeas.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Bill number 35-0042, an act amending the rules of the 35th Legislature of the Virgin Islands, Rule 205A, by removing the provisions that a minority caucus must consist of not less than 5 senators, has been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, please call up the items in block number 5, the final block. Block number 5.
Block 5, consideration of bills. Bill number 35-00. Bill number 35-0050, an act amending the Virgin Islands Code, Title 3, Chapter 7, by designating the existing provisions as Subchapter 1 and adding Subchapter 2, establishing the Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance within the Virgin Islands Department of Education for budgetary purposes, amending Title 33, Chapter 11, Section 3092A, changing the Education Maintenance Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance and Capital Fund, and making an appropriation for $2 million and an appropriation for $5,500,000 from the Virgin Islands Education Initiative Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance, and Capital Fund, and an appropriation and for other related purposes. Bill number 35-0054, 4, an act amending Title I, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 7, Section 103B, relating to the Centennial Treasures Award to provide for a single lump sum award payment. Bill number 35-0055, an act amending Title 17 of the Virgin Islands Code pertaining to school curriculum in elementary and secondary schools. Bill number 35-0061, an act directing the Virgin Islands Inspector General to conduct an audit of the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority and making a $250,000 appropriation to conduct the audit and for other related purposes. Bill number 35-0070, an act authorizing the governor to utilize monies from the public funds of the Virgin Islands to create working capital to provide funds for any purpose for which the government is authorized to use and expend monies, including but not limited to current expenses, capital expenditures, and discharge of any obligations of the government for the next 3 fiscal years, beginning with 2023, and to issue a line of credit in the maximum amount of $150 million, and issue tax anticipation notes to provide funding for authorized governmental operations. This concludes the reading of Block 5, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Senator Gittins, you're recognized for your point of motion. You're recognized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please recognize the mic of the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2 motions. The first one, I move, Mr. President and colleagues, to reassign the bill for non-germane amendments from Bill number 35-0050 to Bill number 35-0054. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Gittins, objected to by Senator DeGraff. Roll call. Seconded by Senator Blyden as well as Senator Joseph. Objected to by Senator DeGraff. Roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Senator Bolquez Jr., yay. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yay. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, nay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, nay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, yay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis Jr., yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. No. Senator Francis Heiliger, nay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Yes. Senator Fred Gregory, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Yes. Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Maurice C. James. Yes. Senator James, yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Yes. Senator James Sr., yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. No. Senator Johnson, nay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Milton Potter. Yes. Senator Potter, yay. Mr. President, we have 11 yeas, 4 nays.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. The motion carries. Motion, Senator Gittins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President and colleagues, I move that Bill number 35-0050, the bill for the non-germane amendments, 54, be placed at the end of the agenda, and all debate time for all the bills in this block be reduced to 2 minutes. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Gittins, seconded by Senator Marvin Blyden, Senator Donna Fred Gregory, Senator Carla Joseph, objected to by Senator DeGraff. Roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Senator Bolquez Jr., yay. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Yes. Senator Capehart, yay. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. No. Senator DeGraff, nay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Yes. Senator Fonseca, yay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis Jr., yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Senator Francis Heiliger, yay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Johnson, nay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Milton Potter. Senator Potter, yay. Mr. President, we have 13 yeas, 2 nays.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. The motion carries. Senator Bulkers, you recognize for your point of inquiry? Personal privilege, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President and colleagues, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for Mr. Milton Gordon, who happens to be the homeless man that got shot down 3 days before his birthday on April 5th. On April 2nd, but his birthday is April 5th. And coincidentally, this evening on St. Croix on Company Street, they're holding a candlelight vigil for this homeless man, and I would like to ask for a moment of silence on his behalf.
Please rise. Thank you. Rest easy, Bobo. Condolences as well goes out to his family during the difficult time of bereavement. At this time, Senator Francis Heidegger, you're recognized for your point of... Nothing? You good? All right. You're recognized for your 2 minutes at this time, Senator.
Good afternoon. Good evening. I rise in support of several of these pieces of legislation in this block, 35-0050, 35-0054. Well, I have to hold my vote on that because this is the non-germane bill, and depending on what all is tacked on to it, I'll decide then. 35-0061. As it relates to 35-0070, before us, we have a bill that, as it stands right now, as I do not have any official changes as yet, I myself had submitted several amendments to make some changes and protections, which I was notified that had been incorporated into a document that is in the nature of a substitute. So as it relates to my amendment 35-270, amendment 35-267, amendment 35-268, and several others. A lot of these amendments to that bill had to do with protections of the people of this territory. As of this moment, I have not offered any of these amendments as yet because I personally would like to see what some of my other colleagues will be doing in regards to this bill. I personally will tell you directly, I will be voting no for this piece of legislation. We have to get to a point where this institution starts acting like the first branch of government. We have to move away from living in this territory and allowing other individuals to dictate the course of the territory through phone calls, through party affiliation, and through a slew of things that has nothing to do with the 15 of us in here that are elected. Yes, the governor is requesting a line of credit, but this document also, without amendments, would give him basically carte blanche rule over our budget. And that is something I cannot accept. Mr. Chair, could I wrap up? You may. Thank you. I also had some concerns in regards to how the line of credit and turning over some funding to WAPA. It's one thing when you ask this institution to co-sign to be able to give you authority to get money. But it's one thing when this institution consistently asks you for documentation so we could make responsible decisions on behalf of the people, and that information is hardly or never forthcoming. So in that respect, I cannot vote for this or vote for this in the affirmative. So thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I will vote at the appropriate time.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. Next, we'll recognize Senator Johnson. You recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise in support in most of the measures in this block. And I'll be straight and blunt, I have not skipped a beat. Bill number 350070, I can't support this measure. And I've made it very clear, there was a lot of questions that was asked that Mr. Smith could not have answered. And anytime somebody gonna tell me that we actually will owe 300 million with interest, and somebody who is owed 300 million said to you, well, give me 145. That raises a lot of eyebrow. People don't walk away from money. Not that kind of money. So somebody can tell me the original cost is going to reach all up to 300 million, but you know what? Give me 145.
1 minute.
Where does that happen? Seriously, question this. People don't just walk away from $155 million. Doesn't happen. Something is wrong with this picture. They say you could paint a pig in all colors. It's still going to be a pig. I cannot support this measure when you understand when we ask the question, do you guys have receipts proving that this amount of work have been done? And the answer is no. They say all they going by is a contract. That's all they going by. I gonna spend my money how I want. I ain't gonna give away the people money like that. Not me. You gonna prove to me that you earn the people money for me to support giving you the people money. Mines that I work for, I gonna do whatever I choose to do with it. But I won't sit in this building and give away the people money just like that. I would like to see a forensic audit so we could know exactly what Vital did. And then you could ask me for my support. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. Senator DeGraff, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just like everybody to know, I objected to my bill being used as the non-germane bill. So for the centenarians, so remember when the people make 100 years old and we wanted to give them the $5,000, if anything happened to that, then, hey, it's on you. But again, February 13th, 2023, and February 13th, 1983. February 13th, 1983 was when my father passed away. So when I see on February 13th, 2023, Vital and WAPA sign an agreement obligating us. Who is us? Not in here, the Senate. Obligating us, the people of the territory, to a payout. WAPA don't have a cent to scratch the you-know-what. But we're going to make an adjustment and arrangements and things to give them $45 million or however much, I guess. And to me, when you do a revenue anticipation note for more than a year, you supersede the authority of the legislature. That's what I believe. I believe a RAN should be for a year and a half the most, because we have done RANs before for a year, so the government could stay afloat. And like I said, we have frozen the budget
30 seconds.
So that it could function off of the previous year budget. So again, I stand in support of most of the bills in this block. But again, 70, I ain't gonna do it, because like they say, if you look like a duck, walk like a duck, it ain't from Savannah. So thank you for the time, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator DeGraff. Senator Carrion, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise this evening once again in support for most measures in Block 5, with exception to Bill 35-0070. I have to express my concern, and if I'm honest, I am somewhat divided. And I'm somewhat divided because I know that our recovery process needs some funding to start moving some of the projects that we have in place, and that the line of credit would provide that opportunity to expedite some of the projects that we have that have been already obligated through FEMA and the various federal agencies.
One
and we'd
minute.
like to see some of those projects moving. But on the other hand, I have my reservations in regards to the $45 million given to Vitalo on behalf of WAPA. And also to the process by which this has come forth. We weren't part of the process at the beginning that the executive branch or even WAPA was part of. And I must say, I remain open and willing to work with this administration, any other administration. But I
30
think it's
seconds.
important to understand that this institution must be respected. And we cannot be expected last minute to be making decisions when we don't really have any hard evidence. We've been asking for documentations and report from WAPA, and up to now, we haven't been able to receive any of those. So are we called to make decisions on the blind? We've been asking for appraisal. We've been asking for reports. We've been asking for confirmation. We have no hard evidence. And we've been going back and forth with this with WAPA. So that's where I'm divided. I know we have an issue we have to deal with regards to
Time.
WAPA and Vital. But you got to prove to me that this contract that WAPA entered in the first place, Mr. President, if I may, I'm just conclude.
You may conclude, son.
That we entered in the first place was a valid legal contract, that the amount is correct, and that this agreement that the government or WAPA is entering with is right, given all the history that this company has nationally and in other countries. So I have my reservations, and I will vote accordingly at the appropriate time. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Carrion. Senator Javon E. James, Sr., you are recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand in support of Bill number 35-0055, which speaks to the school curriculum in elementary and secondary schools, specifically for Virgin Islands history. Bill number 35-0054, relating to the Centennial Treasures Award. I stand in support of that. That's a no-brainer bill. Bill number 35-0050, which speaks to creating a Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance with the Virgin Islands Department of Education. I think I would support it. I want to hear what the sponsor of that measure has to say. As far as Bill number 35-0070, I stand in full support of that measure. So I'm just waiting to see things happen. But with the remaining of my time, I just want to speak about my level of disappointment of how long things take
1 minute.
to happen in the Virgin Islands. Everything just seems to be so long. And I understand we have a procurement process, we have hurricane season, and the list goes on. But sometimes it seems as if we're not motivated as Virgin Islanders to really push and go up and beyond. And I'm hoping and praying in the next 2 years in this body and within the next 4 years of this administration being in power, that we really put our minds together to make these projects happen. Whether it is the hurricane recovery project, dealing with the behavioral health facility on St. Croix, the cricket field, the horse track. It just sometimes just seems very depressing. And I really hope and pray that for the next 2 years in this Senate and the next 4 years for this administration, we can really work together regardless of the disagreements we may have on issues. So in closing, Mr. President, I will vote in affirmative for all measures when the time comes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator James. Senator Bolkes Jr., you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, colleagues, I rise in support of 2 measures as is. However, there are 3 other measures that require amendments in order for me to fully support them. As is Bill number 350050 pertinent to school maintenance, I fully support. Bill number 35-0061 concerning the Inspector General and an audit, I support fully. Concerning the non-germane bill, once the amendments are received on that, then I'll know where I stand. And concerning bill number 35055, there are amendments for that bill as well concerning VI history and Caribbean history in the Virgin Islands curriculum. And I'm looking forward to those amendments to fully support that bill as well. And of course, bill number 35-0070 as is, I cannot support it. However, once the amendments move forward in the nature of a substitute, I will be voting yes in the affirmative for that bill. Mr. President, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Bolkes Jr., Senator Milton E. Potter Jr. No, Jr., right? Milton E. Potter, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise in support of most of the items in this block, beginning with Bill number 35-0070. In its current form, I would have some challenges approving that. However, I'm clear that there are some amendments that will be coming that will address some of the issues and concerns that I have, and hopefully it'll be much more palatable for us to consider. You know, I see this bill sort of like a domestic violence situation. Not this bill, but the issue of Vital. I'm going to explain to you why. It's like you're stuck in a domestic violence relationship and you're acknowledging the pain and suffering that you've experienced. And at some point, you have to be able to get beyond the pain and the suffering and the anger. And Virgin Islanders are angry about this Vital relationship that we've been into for quite a while, for a number of years. This bill, with the amendments that we've discussed in caucus, I think will allow us, will provide the impetus for us to move beyond anger to action, to once and for all put the issue of Vital to rest, so that the Water and Power Authority can own the infrastructure with regards to the petroleum, and we can move forward with digging ourselves out of a very difficult, a very painful arrangement with Vital. So it is my hope that with the amendments that are forthcoming, that we can finally put ourselves in a position to move beyond this. The amendments should ask for, should hold, thank you very much. If I may just wrap up, Mr. President, it will provide the necessary safeguards to ensure the prudent use of public dollars. So at the appropriate time, Mr. President and colleagues, I will vote accordingly on these initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Potter. Senator Marie C. James, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will support these measures based on amendments, as my colleagues have been saying. It's clear that, well, I definitely, of course, support the school maintenance, the establishment of the Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance. I am one of the sponsors on that bill. I also was one of the senators who supported the amending Title 17 with respect to the curriculum. when it comes to the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority, we must realize that it is not a private utility. It is a public utility, and anything that is public is owned by us. So we need to, whether we like it or not, we need to fix whatever is going on with the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority.
1 minute.
And really, again, release the people of the Virgin Islands from being held hostage by Vital. So at the appropriate time, I will vote on these measures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Marisi James. Next, we'll hear from Senator Ray Fonseca. You're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Yes, and thank you very much, Mr. President, for your time, and a pleasant good evening to the listening audience. You know, I got a whole lot of problems with this bill number 35-0070, the WAPA Vital issue. All of the other bills in Block 5, I fully support. But let me tell you, right, transparency and accountability is important. I don't believe there's transparency nor accountability with WAPA. And I'll tell you why. WAPA still owes money to Trafigura, Trafigura. I don't know if they owe to Glencore. I know they owe outstanding balances to GERS. I'm not sure about the fuel taxes, if they're using it appropriately. I haven't seen a current audit. I know the audits ain't up to date. I haven't seen, I don't know whether or not they're going to the Public Service Commission to raise rates. I have not seen a copy of the Vital contract. Yeah, I understand it was 87 million, is now the same 284 million. There's no transparency, no accountability. Now, I know that a gun is being held to my head because there's the threat of the rolling blackouts and all of this. And of course, we don't want our constituents to be without power. But there's a lot of issues here that I question with this issue. You know, we need to put our foot down. You know, this is the first branch of government. I feel like I'm being pushed into this. I fully support the rest of the money for the hurricane projects, those projects I fully supported. The problem is they lump this Vital issues into it, and there's no transparency and accountability. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your time.
Thank you very much, Senator Fonseca. At this time, we'll recognize Senator Fred Gregory. You're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, listening to this conversation this afternoon or this evening, I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. These are the same people that sit down in the room with us and amend a bill. I feel like I'm in a twilight zone, and I'm going to leave that right there. Our colleagues sat in that room, and we amended that bill to ensure that we protect the people's money and the people of the Virgin Islands. So I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. And what we did with regards to this line of credit is we recognize that all of what was said earlier, that's in the original bill, but we also know that we have a bill in the nature of a substitute. The bill that came down is not the bill. I was not going to vote for it. There are colleagues that I had talking different about this measure this evening.
1 minute.
Who convinced me that was the right thing to do. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. This is amazing. Anyway, for the purpose of the people, I got 1 minute. We put guardrails in this measure. The guardrails are to require WAPA to hire a turnaround management company that we
30
moved
seconds.
in the Fourth, legislature. We did that. We also are requiring WAPA not to hire any additional employees until they enter into this contractual agreement. So we didn't just say yes. We are not just saying yes to this. I would never do that. We also are requiring them to provide reports to this institution. And we are putting the onus on the central government, the executive branch.
Time.
To manage to get and to manage this turnaround company. Our VIPD is in turnaround. Our Department of Education is in turnaround. It's time for WAPA to be in turnaround because we see what has happened. Mr. Chair, can I finish? We see what has happened right here before us. When we asked the executive director, the CEO of WAPA, about his security officer, he said to us, yes, we brought his wife in as an HR specialist part-time. So until we could get a turnaround company in here to take care of the business, we stopping them from hiring. So let's not get up here this evening and appear and act as if we did not put in the necessary guardrails as leaders within this institution. We can't play politics with everything. We can't. We cannot play politics with everything. I have measures in this block, but they've been heard. This would be the third time that they've been heard, so I'm not going to address them this evening. I just ask my colleagues to support the measures, and let's do the right thing for the people of the Virgin Islands. We have to get rid of this issue, this Alcatraz that we have around our neck. The issue that we have, this is an emotional issue, and my colleague that sits next to me, Senator Potter, he shared with me his concerns about it being an emotional issue. And I'm going to wrap up, Mr. Chair. But for me, it's not emotional. Because if it was emotional, my vote would be no. But it's about how do we make the way forward. If we have some solutions outside of where we are this evening, feel free to let me know. Thank you for the time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Senator Fred Gregory. Senator Capehart, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Good night, colleagues, and thank you, Mr. President. You know, we have few bills here in our last block, and we've had controversial one earlier, and now Bill 35-0070, which, when it was brought to us, I had already said I was not voting for it because it didn't offer any accountability, transparency. It was too vague, it was too broad. And we not only the majority, the minority senators, we all huddled and we dissected it. You could see a bunch of X out, cross out. That's not the document that we are voting on today.
1 minute.
We are voting on an amendment in the nature of a substitute. I got preempted by two of my colleagues. I said I wanted to reduce the amount. I wanted more transparency. I wanted safeguards. And that's what we worked on today, that I'm comfortable to get this monkey off our back. So it's a beginning. We have to start somewhere, guys. WAPA is the only thing we have.
30
My
seconds.
mom retired from WAPA, 30 years. I've seen that energy place come from what it was to what it is now. Anyway, Bill 35-0050, I'm in support of it. You know, there's a 135-0061. I just signed on to this bill, which is an act directing the Virgin Islands Inspector General to conduct an audit of the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority, making $250,000 appropriation to conduct an audit. This is what we're doing this evening. Mr. President, I'm ready to vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Capehart. Senator Gittins, you recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. I vex, I reduce the time. But we are already here. I don't sit and nobody fence. And the other question I was to ask is, who does sign a deal without first seeing what the deal is all about? Even two boards sitting on a fence trying to make $1 out of 50 cents ain't gonna sign that. Not just so. We gotta separate the two issues. And those of you that did your work and you separated the issues or you did the amendments, thank you. I ain't doing a thing for them. They raped the people of the Virgin Islands for far too long. We see that other jurisdictions have taken them to court and have won. Look at the kind of millions of dollars that we're talking about. Like my good colleague said, you gone from 300 and something plus $1 million to come settle for 145? Yeah, right.
1 minute.
Tell that to somebody else, all right? I want to keep it simple, but I want to remind you, $87 million contract gone, double or triple the cost in cost overrun. Fool me once, fool me twice. Our responsibility is oversight. So here it is. We carefully and diligently look into these bills, scrutinizing the actions. That's our job. But then what? The administration getting upset with you with a little pettiness and all kind of thing because we're working in the best interest of the people that sent us here to work on their behalf?
30 seconds.
Really? You're going to tell me? I mean, it's really nonsense. You're saying that we don't have no S solutions. Or me, you call me by name, but it's okay. But, you know, you can Act 8471, which speaks to the turnaround management, was vetoed. Act 8472, which speaks to the special investigation for WAPA, vetoed. We're bringing it back now. Thank you to the other senators that have signed on so far. Bolkis, Johnson, Carrion, Fonseca, Capart, the rest of you, join us.
Time.
Because we really say we want to get this done. Act 8297, the back billing by the Senate President, also signed into law, vetoed. What are we doing? We're saying that we don't have solutions, and you're telling people that only money going to solve this? May I conclude, Mr. President? Because ain't only money going to solve this problem, okay? The management there has to change. The culture has to change. Yes, you're saying that they don't have the old management team there. But we see still that who's there sitting, still allowing the same foolishness to happen. Still allowing it. And it ain't happening with our people either. But until there's a fundamental change in WAPA, there will be no change at all. We don't even help our hospitals who don't help us. Well, we don't have to run to the hospital. We don't even help them the way that we help in WAPA. Every minute, millions of dollars to this failing authority. You know, it's about changing the entire structure and culture. Like we say, whatever happened to change course now? But I forgot, some of them at the top don't even have a monthly obligation to WAPA. But the rest of us feeling it. I'm so sorry that I really reduced this time to 2 minutes, you know. But at the appropriate time, I gonna cast my vote. And 0070 can't fly. I don't care how you amend it, how you bring it. It needs to go back. We need to bring them people back here and make sure that we get the answers for the people of this territory who we working on behalf of. We ain't working on behalf of 2 people or 3 people on the side. We working on behalf of the people of these Virgin Islands. I am sick of this crap.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittins. Calm down, calm down. People dropping down around here. Calm down. Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Wow. I got to follow that passionate diatribe that we just had. And I really want to say, you know, everybody is entitled to their passions. But ain't everybody entitled to their own facts? And what we need to do here is make history similar to what we did with GRS. And that's what we have been doing in the past. I want to just talk for the very limited time I have on the bills. I am in support of the majority of these bills here. I do have one bill that I know an amendment is coming, 35.0055, and as well as 35.0070,
1
which
minute.
an amendment is coming. I want to say the amendment in the nature of a substitute, they have labeled it as, and we have labeled it, because I'm in support of it, as a change company, but a turnaround company. Thank you, Mr. President. A turnaround. But let's be real. Let me tell you what it is. It's replacing the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority under a receivership. And this is nothing that is abnormal.
30 seconds.
For power authorities to have that level of scrutiny to turn around. It was done here with the Virgin Islands Housing Authority, okay? But a power authority in the United States, Washington State, that was a public power authority. They did it there, and guess what? That power plant and that power authority is the better off today. Even as an ex officio member of the PSC, that's what they said.
Time.
They're better off today. And so we are taking strides and making solutions and bringing forward items that could help our people. I can't put people at risk of blackouts, of not being able to have electricity, and our elders. I can't do it with anything in my body. I can't do it. Okay? And if this is a way forward for us to get rid of Vital, let's get rid of them and move forward. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for the leeway.
Thank you very much, Senator Joseph, for your comments. At this time, we recognize the Senate Vice President. Senator Blyden, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I do write in support of all of the bills in this block. Several of them, once amended, I will be voting in affirmative. But I want to speak to bill number 35.0070. When the government officials and the WAPA officials came in front of us, I stated clearly that I could not support the bill in its current form. And I will not be supporting a bill in its current form. That is why we got together, majority and minority, and spent several days working on the bill, like we did with the GRS bill. And we are bringing a new bill in the nature of a substitute. That's the bill I will be voting on. So I need to make it clear. We are not voting on this bill that came down before. We are voting on a completely different bill. So that needs to be clear for the record. Now, my colleague, the last Vice President of the 34th Legislature, made several points
1 minute.
in respect to guardrails and protection for the government. And she also mentioned the turnaround company. She mentioned the safeguard of the employees, the report to this body, and she did not mention, which I will at this time, to try and assure that we get a loan from a local bank so the money can stay here in our community. So there's a lot of things we put in the bill to assure that we look out, number one, for our people, our constituents, because, of course, they are going to be rolling blackouts. Of
30
course,
seconds.
if we don't do anything, it's going to get worse. And who is going to affect? Our people. And guess what? At the end of the day, they're going to come to us. And we are going to have to do something for them. So this is an opportunity for us to make right what was done wrong and assure that there's accountability, there's transparency moving forward with the guardrails we have put in place and other protections for our people. But that is our job. That is our responsibility as public servants to work on behalf of our people, the same one that sent us here.
Time.
So at the end of the day, I've been involved in many, many, many controversial decisions since I've been here at the Senate. And you know what? I've not been wrong once. Not once. So guess what? Not once. So guess what? I support what we are doing as a body, and I look forward to continue working with all of you guys. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Senator Blyden. And if the Madam Timekeeper could put 2 minutes on the clock for me, I'll also weigh in on this matter real quickly. And let me say that I am one that's very concerned about the VTEL issue. And obviously, the high costs of the VTEL project and the fact that it has escalated beyond the $87 million. But today's discussion is not about that. Today's discussion, again, is about how do we remedy the situation that we're up against. I'll tell you that over the years since VTEL has come on board, we have paid VTEL in fuel costs over $400 million. Come June, we would have given them $97 million. We gave them $6 million. But we're asked to at least allow for a parachute to be able to get out of this deal. My colleagues talk about the domestic violence. The best way to move forward on this particular issue is to sever this relationship. It's a bad marriage. We can't stay in it for the children and them. We need to sever the relationship at this point. We have reduced the amount that the governor had requested from the $150 million.
30 seconds.
My other colleagues talk about how and what we have done as well as to amend this bill. This discussion about for the have and the have-nots. We have individuals within this community that have the wherewithal and have the capacity to be able to go solar, to be able to jump off the WAPA grid. But then we have our seniors. Those seniors that don't even, and some of them that don't even have a roof over their head, or the roof is compromised. They have to put buckets and pails and every time when it pours out there.
Time.
And now we asking them to go without light too? That's unfair to them. Our best effort, again, despite our emotions and our feelings, and that we believe that a lot of people should have gone to jail regarding this whole VTEL issue, is that we have to sever our relationship. Get out of it. Tomorrow when we wake up, we don't want to hear nothing about VTEL because it no longer exists. That is the answer as we move forward. Let's get out of this bad marriage. At this time, Madam Clerk, please call up the items for vote.
Bill number 35.0050, an act amending the Virgin Islands Code, Title 3, Chapter 7, by designating the existing provisions as Subchapter 1 and adding a Subchapter 2, establishing the Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance within the Virgin Islands Department of Education for budgetary purposes, amending Title 33, Chapter 11, Section 3092A, changing the Education Maintenance Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance, and Capital Fund, and making an appropriation of $2 million and an appropriation of $5,500,000 from the Virgin Islands Education Initiative Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance, and Capital Fund, and an appropriation for other related purposes.
This one moved to the bottom. That's the last one. So don't read it now.
Roll call on Bill 35-0050.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden? Senator Blyden? Yay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr.? Senator Bolquez Jr.? Yay. Senator Diane T. Capard? Yes. Senator Capard? Yay. Senator Samuel Carrion? Senator Samuel Carrion? Yay. Senator Dwayne DeGraff? Dwayne DeGraff? Senator Dwayne DeGraff? Yay. Senator Reyes Fonseca? Senator Fonseca? Yay. Senator Novelli Francis Jr.?
Yeah.
Senator Francis Jr.? Yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger? Senator Francis Heiliger? Yay. Senator Danae Fred Gregory? Senator Danae Fred Gregory? Yes. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins? Senator Gittins? Yes. Senator Maurice C. James? Senator James? Maurice C. James? Yes. Senator Giovanni James Sr.? Senator James Sr.? Yes. Senator Franklin D. Johnson? Senator D. Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Josephs? Yes. Senator Joseph? Yes. Senator Milton Potter?
Yes.
Senator Potter? Yes. Mr. President, 15 years.
No, to wipe out all of those.
Mr. President, 15 years.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, Bill number 35-0050, an act amending the Virgin Islands Code, Title 3, Chapter 7, by designating the existing provisions of Subchapter 1 and adding a Subchapter 2, establishing the Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance within the Virgin Islands Department of Education for budgetary purposes, amending Title 33, Chapter 11, Section 3092A, changing the Education Maintenance Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance, and Capital Fund, and making an appropriation of $2 million and an appropriation of $5.5 million from the Virgin Islands Education Initiative Fund to the School Construction, Maintenance, and Capital Fund, and an appropriation and for other related purposes have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Bill number 35-0055, an act amending Title 17 of the Virgin Islands Code pertaining to school curriculum in elementary and secondary schools.
Roll call on Bill 35-0055.
Senator Marvin.
Amendments? Who have an amendment? Senator Francis Heidegger, you recognized for an amendment?
I rise and offer amendment number 35-259 to amend bill number 35-0055 offered by Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, Franklin D. Johnson, Carla J. Joseph, Angel Bolquez Jr., and Dwayne M. D. Graff. Bill number 35-0055, Section 1, Internal Section A, Paragraph 1 is amended by striking all the language after courses and inserting new language to read, shall be part of the curriculum in grades kindergarten to 8th grade. From grade 9 through 12, the history of the Virgin Islands and basic Caribbean history shall be offered as specific courses. I so move.
A motion properly made by Senator Francis Heidegger, seconded by Senator De Graaf, Senator Johnson, Senator Joseph, and Senator Bolquez. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Any other amendments? Madam Clerk, roll call and Bill 35-0055 as amended.
Senator Marvelini A. Blyden? Senator Blyden? Yay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr.? Senator Bolquez Jr.? Yay. Senator Diane T. Capard? Senator Capard? Yay. Senator Samuel Carrion? Senator Carrion? Yes. Senator Dwayne M. De Graaf? Senator De Graaf? Yay. Senator Ray Fonseca? Yes. Senator Fonseca? Yay. Senator Novell Francis Jr.? Senator Novell Francis Jr.? Yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger?
Yes.
Senator Alma Francis Heiliger? Yes. Senator Donna Fred Gregory? Senator Fred Gregory? Yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins? Yes. Senator Gittins? Yay. Senator Maurice C. James? Yes. Senator Maurice C. James? Yay. Senator Javon E. James, Sr.? Senator James, Sr.? Yes. Senator Franklin D. Johnson? Yay. Senator Franklin Johnson? Yeah. Senator Carla J. Joseph? Yes. Senator Joseph? Yes. Senator Milton Potter? Yes. Senator Potter? Yes. Mr. President, 15 years.
I don't even know which bill it belonged to.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. What was that tally, Madam Clerk?
Mr. President, 15 years.
Very well. Thank you very much. Bill number 35-0055, an act amending Title 17 of the Virgin Islands Code pertaining to school curriculum in elementary and secondary school as amended have been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Bill number 35. Which one I am? Oh, Bill number 35-0061, an act directing the Virgin Islands Inspector General to conduct an audit of the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority, making a $250,000 appropriation to conduct the audit and for other related purposes.
Roll call on Bill number 35. Senator Gittins, you recognize for amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President and colleagues, I rise to offer amendment number 35-278, which was circulated to bill number 35-0061. Bill number 35-0061, section 1, subsection A, is amended in the following instances. A, in paragraph 1, after contract, insert open quote, including the construction, operation, and maintenance of the project, semicolon, and the LPG supply, end of quote. B, strike paragraphs 3 and 4, and C, redesignate paragraph 5 as paragraph 3. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Gittins, seconded by Senator Carlos Joseph, Senator Capehart, Senator Bolkes. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Any further amendment? Madam Clerk, roll call on Bill 35-0061 as amended.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart? Yes. Senator Diane T. Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion? Yes. Senator Samuel Carrion, yes. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff? Yes. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca? Senator Ray Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.?
Yea.
Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger?
Yes.
Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, yes. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory? Yes. Senator Fred Gregory? Yes. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins?
Yes.
Senator Kenneth L. Gittins? Yes. Senator Maurice C. James? Yes. Senator Maurice C. James? Yes. Senator Javon E. James Sr.? Yes. Senator James Sr.? Yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson? Yay. Senator Johnson? Yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph? Yes. Senator Joseph? Yay. Senator Milton Potter? Yes. Senator Potter? Yay. Mr. President, 15 years.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Bill number 35-0061, an act directing the Virgin Islands Inspector General to conduct an audit of the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority, making an appropriation of $250,000 appropriation to conduct the audit and for other related purposes as amended has been approved by this body and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Bill number 35-0070, an act authorizing the governor to utilize monies from public funds of the Virgin Islands to create working capital to provide funds for any purpose for which the government is authorized to use and expend monies, including but not limited to current expenses, capital expenditures, and discharge of any obligations of the government for the next 3 fiscal years, beginning with 2023, and to issue a line of credit in the maximum amount of $150 million, and issue tax anticipation notes to provide funding for authorized governmental operations.
Amendment. Senator Joseph, you recognize for amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move amendment number 35-280, amendment to bill number 35-0070, offered by Senators Donna A. Fred Gregory, Novell E. Francis Jr., Marvin A. Blyden, Angel Boquez Jr., Diane T. Capehart, Ray Fonseca, Javon E. James Sr., Maurice C. James, Carla J. Joseph, and Milton Potter. It reads, A, the preamble is amended to read as follows. Whereas the Virgin Islands is still slowly recovering from the devastating financial impacts of the 2017 Category 5 hurricanes, Irma and Maria, as well as Hurricane Dorian in 2019, whereas damage to the territory caused by Hurricanes Irma, Maria, and Dorian totaled a loss upwards often billions dollars, whereas the territory is currently rebuilding from all three devastating hurricanes while navigating the effects of COVID-19.
Senator Fred Gregory, recognized for your motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to waive the reading of amendment number 35-280. I so move.
Objection.
Motion properly made to waive the reading of the measure by Senator Fred Gregory, seconded by Senator Blyden, Senator Bolquez, objected to by Senator Francis Heiliger, Senator Carrion, and Senator Franklin Johnson, and Senator DeGraff. Roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Senator Bolquez Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, nay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, nay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr. Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger.
No.
Senator Francis Heiliger, nay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, nay. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, yea. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., yea. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Nay. Senator Johnson, nay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yea. Senator Milton Potter. Yes. Senator Potter, yea. Mr. President, we have 10 yeas, 5 nays.
Very well, the motion carries.
Objection. Objection.
Any second?
Objection.
So move, or very well, seconded. Motion properly made. So moved by Senator Carla Joseph, seconded by Senator Fred Gregory, objected to by Senator Francis Heiliger. Roll call. Roll call. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Senator Bolquez Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart.
It's an amendment.
Senator Capehart, yea. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion.
No, they don't.
He did? Not Senator Carrion, not voting. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, not voting. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yea.
Senator Francis Jr., yea. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. No. Senator Francis Heiliger, nay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, nay. Senator Maurice C. James, Senator James, yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr., Senator James Sr., yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson, Senator Johnson, nay. Senator Carter J. Joseph, Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Milton Potter, Senator Potter, yay. Mr. President, we have
Please,
10.
Madam Clerk, please record Senator Carrion's vote as yes.
Senator President, Mr. President, we have 11 yeas, 3 nays, 1 not voting.
Very well, thank you. The motion carries. Point of personal privilege, Senator Joseph, you recognize.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I just wanted to inform the listening and viewing public what we just did. We really work collaboratively across the lines here to actually gut the initial bill that the governor sent down, and the amendment now authorizes the governor to use public government funds to create working capital to provide funds for a purpose authorized and use, and to expend the money to including but not limited to current expenses, capital expenditures, and discharges of any obligations of the government for the next 3 years, beginning with 2023. And we have reduced the amount from $150 million that the governor had requested to $100 million, and to provide, and this is fast tracking, the disaster recovery. So we really are on a fast track to see a lot of things done here in this legislative body. And I want to thank my colleagues who worked fearlessly, and putting this together. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. We still have to complete the vote, and I'll come and recognize you. Point of, be recognized.
Good evening. I too would like to use my point of personal privilege to put on the record that this entire document has wiped out the bill that the governor had sent down, and just for public education, it has replaced it. Many of the changes, and I want to stress to the public, one of the reasons why I am not signed on to this bill. Many of the changes in this bill, yes, came from discussions we had from myself when we had this discussion yesterday.
Senator, just know that we have not completely voted on the bill as amended yet. I'm not sure if you want to wait to make that comment until we finish that. You'll ask for point of personal privilege. I indicated to you that the bill is still going through the process.
She explained why it was there.
Okay, so
I'm explaining.
I'm fine. I'm just letting you know that we have not voted on the bill as amended yet. Very well.
I am
You may conclude at this time.
Thank you. So at the appropriate time, once we're able to vote, I wanted to make sure the public is aware that many changes were made to this document, but at the end of the day, we have to get to the point where we're not always doing things at the last minute, throwing things on people's desk, having these last minute powwows where there's a minority within this majority that believe they control the majority of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. Madam Clerk, roll call on bill number 35-0070 as amended.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, yay. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yay. Senator Diane T. Capard. Senator Capard, yay. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yes. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff, nay. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Ray Fonseca, yay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis Jr. Yay. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. No. Senator Heiliger, no. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Yeah. Senator Fred Gregory, yes. Senator Kenneth L. Giddens? No. Senator Kenneth L. Giddens? Nay. Senator Maurice C. James? Senator Maurice C. James? Yay. Senator Javan E. James Sr.? Senator James? Senator James Sr.? Yes. Senator Franklin D. Johnson? Nay. Senator Johnson? Nay. Senator Carter J. Joseph? Yes. Senator Carla J. Joseph? Yay. Senator Milton Potter? Yes. Senator Milton Potter? Yay. Mr. President, 11 yeas, 4 nays.
Thank you very much. Bill number 35-0070, an act authorizing the governor to utilize monies from the public funds of the Virgin Islands to create working capital to provide funds for any other purpose for which the government is authorized to use and expend monies, including but not limited to current expenses, capital expenditures, and discharge of any obligations of the government to the Virgin Islands next 3 fiscal years, beginning with 2023, and to issue a line of credit in the maximum amount of $150 million, and issue tax anticipation notes to provide funding for authorized governmental operation as amended has been approved and will be sent to the governor for further consideration and action. At this time, Madam Clerk, please call up the next item for vote on the final bill. This bill is the non-germane amendment bill, bill number 35-0054.
Bill number 35-0054, an act amending Title 1, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 7, Section 103B, relating to the Centennial Treasurers Award, to provide for a single lump sum award payment.
Any amendments? Amendment. Senator Carrion, you recognize for your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to offer amendment number 35-265 to Bill 35-0054, offered by this yours truly. Bill number 35-0054 is amended by designating all the language after 103B as subsection A and adding subsection B to read as follows. B subsection E is amended by inserting private senior care facilities after home. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Carrion, seconded by Senator Alma Francis Heidegger, Senator Johnson, and Senator DeGraff. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Motion, Senator Amendment, Senator Joseph.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise to offer amendment number 35-260, and this amendment is to bill number 35-0054, and it is offered by myself, and it reads, Bill number 35-0054 is amended by adding an appropriately numbered section that reads, Section blank, Act number 86-117 is amended in Section 10100 General Fund L by inserting the funds remain available until expended after over veterans' medical and burial expenses for $450,000. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Joseph, seconded by Senator DeGraff and Senator Blyden. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Amendment, Senator Fred Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that amendment number 35-275 to bill number 35-0054. Bill number 35-0054 is amended by adding two appropriately numbered sections that read as follows. Section blank, the sum of $75,000 is appropriated in the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2023 from the General Fund of the Treasury of the Virgin Islands to WTJX Public Television System for the satellite uplink for the St. Thomas St. John District. Section blank, the sum of $100,000 is appropriated in fiscal year ending September 30th, 2023 from the general fund of the Treasury of the Virgin Islands to the Virgin Islands election system for fiscal year 2023 for additional operating costs. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator Fred Gregory, seconded by Senator Potter. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator James, you recognize for your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that Bill number 35-0054 is amended by adding an appropriately numbered section that reads as follows. Let me reinstate my... Mr. Chair, I move that amendment number 35-140 be offered today to amend Bill number 35-0054. Bill number 35-0054 is amended by adding an appropriately numbered section that reads as follows. Act number 8651, Section 1, as amended by Act number 8690, Section 25 is further amended by striking subsection C and inserting a new subsection to read as follows. C, 90 days after the commencement of the development at the Randall Dock James Racetrack, the government of the Virgin Islands, through the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, shall grant to VIGL Operations LLC an amount not to exceed $5 million for the development of the racetracks. The funds shall remain until expended. I so move.
Motion properly made by Senator James, seconded by Senator Fred Gregory, Senator DeGraff, Senator Blyden. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Amendments, Senator Johnson.
Mr. Chair, I raise an amendment to the amendment 35140. Amendment 35140 amended by striking commencements of the development of the Randall Dock James Racetrack and inserting the words approval of the CZM permits for the Randall Dock James Racetrack. I so move.
Objection.
Motion properly made by Senator Johnson, objected to by Senator James. Roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden.
I'm sorry. Motion properly made by Senator Johnson, seconded by Senator DeGraff, and objected to by Senator James. Debate time. You got 2 minutes debate time. You want?
Final protest majority. How come I get it? Hey, I love it. The rule.
Senator, debate time. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. The amendment that I just made actually put a time frame as to when this money will be released. So when I said the part approval of the CZM permits for the Randall Dock James, what this does is actually put a time frame in place so that when the permits is approved, then the money can be released. How the bill is right now, the government could take whatever amount of time and determine when commencement start. Commencement will be basically when the government says start. But with this wording, the permit, once the permit is approved, that's considered commencement start. I reserve the rest of my time.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, how much time does Senator Johnson has?
1 minute, 17 seconds.
Very well. Senator James, you're recognized for your 2 minutes debate time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On September 15, 2022, the government of the Virgin Islands, specifically the governor of the Virgin Islands, signed a second amendment to the franchise agreement with VIGL. The franchise agreement is very clear, and I would like to know, Mr. President, if I can ask legal counsel for their opinion, because Section 5, page 3 of 5, Section 5 of the second amendment to the franchise agreement says, 90 days after the commencement of the development of the St. Croix racetrack, the government of the Virgin Islands, through the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation, shall grant to VIGL Operations LLC an amount not to exceed $5 million of the funds allocated for the reconstruction of the racetrack from any available fund for specific projects in the development of the St. Croix racetrack as approved by DSPR in compliance with all local and federal laws. When I first brought the bill, I reserve the rest of my time.
Very well. Madam Clerk, how much time does
Senator James has 54 seconds.
54 seconds. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Through the chair to legal counsel, can you respond to Senator James' inquiry?
1, 2.
Yeah.
The chair can do what he please.
Through the chair to Senator James. A few things. First of all, I'm not sure what the inquiry is, number one. Number two, but if you could give me a copy of what you just read, and then I can understand exactly what you're inquiring.
Yes, so through the chair to legal counsel, there is a 5-page franchise agreement, which is the second amendment to the franchise agreement, which was signed between the governor of the Virgin Islands and VIGL on September 15, 2022. And nowhere in section 5 of page 3 of 5 of this franchise agreement says that based on the approval of CZM permits and what the amendment is offering, that will be the language required to give VIGL the funding. So what I'm saying in section 5 of page 3 of 5 of the second amendment to the franchise agreement makes it clear on the language used to determine when they will receive the funds. So I want to know, can we make any changes knowing that there's a franchise agreement? I reserve the balance of my time.
Okay, very well. Senator James, I'm going to end the debate because we have other call of the chair because we have lost the senator at this time. But I will let legal counsel finish their statement. So all the debate time has expired. Legal counsel, I'll have legal counsel explain that we do a roll call on amendment.
Through the chair to Senator James, what essentially is, as this legislature has done, is that it took the language that you read from the franchise agreement and actually put it in the statute, right? And your amendment cites the statutes by which this language is now part of the law, right? So what what Senator Johnson amendment does is it puts a condition in the statute, and to your specific inquiry, that condition is not in the franchise agreement, but it would be in the statute.
So does it conflict?
Well, that's what I'm looking at here now.
Okay, very well.
Yes, I'm sorry. There would be a conflict between what is in the franchise agreement versus what you're putting in the law. Now, the question is, what would if Senator Johnson's amendment to your amendment passes? Yes, you would now have a situation where the law would say one thing and the franchise agreement would say another. That's what would be the practical effect.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Roll call and bill amendment number. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call on amendment to the amendment Amendment number 35-282. Roll call.
Yeah, Senator Marvin A. Blyden.
No.
Senator Blyden, nay. Senator Angel L. Bolquez Jr. Senator Bolquez Jr., nay. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, absent. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, yea. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Fonseca, nay. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr. Senator Francis Jr., absent. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Senator Francis Heiliger, yea. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, nay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, absent. Senator Javan E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., nay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Johnson, absent. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, nay. Senator Milton Potter. Senator Potter, yay. Mr. President, we have 5 yeas.
Please, Madam Clerk, change Senator James' vote to yes.
Oh, wait.
Change Senator Javan James' vote to yes. Same Senator Fred Gregory vote to yes. Change Senator Ray Fonseca vote to yes.
Senator Ray Fonseca to yes.
So can you please
Senator Joseph?
give me the roll call? Senator Joseph's vote remain the same.
Okay.
So what's the count, Madam Clerk?
Mr. President, we have 8 yeas, 3 nays, 4 absent.
Very well. The amendment carries. Motion, Senator Javan James.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move that I move to offer amendment number 35-271. Bill number 35-0054 is amended by adding an appropriately numbered section that reads as follows. Notwithstanding that the provisions of Title 32 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2, became law on January 10, 2018, on the effective date of this act, the provisions of Title 32 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2, are suspended and held in abeyance until the Virgin Islands Horse Racing Commission has advised the legislature of the Virgin Islands that all obligations to fund and construct horse racing facilities at the Randolph Dock James Racetrack on St. Croix and the Clinton E. Phipps Racetrack on St. Thomas, in accordance with the existing franchise agreements found in Act number 7953 and Section 4 of Act number 8577 has been met. The legislature will subsequently enact legislation reinstating the applicability and enforceability of the provisions of Title 32 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2. I so move.
Amendment was properly moved by Senator Javan James, seconded by Senator Carla Joseph, objected by Senator Milton Potter. Debate, 2-minute debate time. Senator James, you recognize for your 2-minute debate time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The amendment that I'm offering, which is Amendment 35-271, is straightforward. VIGL has made it clear on the Senate floor in the Senate hearing that they have no intention to build the running surface until the casino is built. So obviously this doesn't affect the St. Croix horse track. So let's get that out of the way. They are not going to build the running surface until the casino is built. It was said right here on the records. You can go and check the records. However, I want y'all to take into consideration what has been going on in the U.S. mainland when it comes to the overall conversation regarding Title 32, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2. One thing about me, I do my research. In most jurisdictions around the U.S. mainland, they are being challenging the courts regarding anti-doping. Why are we rushing and no tracks right now? is basically constructed and funded. Yes, we had a groundbreaking, but it's not built. We need to sit back and watch and see what the U.S. mainland is doing regarding this touchy subject, because states like Nebraska and Texas, they are challenging the federal court, and they're winning. And some of them are saying, okay, if that's the case, we're not going to sell my cars. We're not going to make it go live, just to be in accordance or in compliance
30
with
seconds.
what's going on. So please, let us be careful how we dog eat raw meat. I resolve the balance of my time.
Very well. Madam Clerk, how much time does Senator Javon James have remaining?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Senator Potter, you recognize for your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I agree with my colleague, my Crucian colleague, that how we dog eat raw meat. And I think that this is exactly what we're doing now. In a rush, in haste to have horse racing in this territory, we are suspending anti-doping legislation to allow for us to quickly get this thing on board. I think it is wrong. I think it is going to allow us to resort to the wild, wild west when it comes to horse racing on the track. Anti-doping legislation allows us to have some integrity to the sport of kings. I have a respect for this process. I have a respect for the horses, those majestic horses that run around the track for our entertainment. And it is wrong for us to decide to have a wild, wild west situation out at Clinton Phipps racetrack where you own a horse and you may not be into doping. I have a horse that's running against yours. I may have some integrity, but your horse is being juiced. Am I going to just sit by and allow your horse to be juiced? So now I am juicing my horses. It is destroying the longevity, the health and safety of these majestic animals, and it is scarring, it is staining the integrity of the sport of kings. We do not need to support these initiatives in a haste
30 seconds.
to have horse racing started in this territory. How you start is how you end up. On a federal level, they're trying to federalize the process of anti-doping. That is how serious it is. But things are on hold. However, the individual states, their anti-doping laws have been reverted too. So it's not as though these things are being suspended. The federal guidelines are being suspended. But those individual states still have their anti-doping legislation. Please do not support this initiative.
Senator Potter, your time has expired. Senator James, you recognize for your 30 seconds.
Colleagues, we are not getting rid of anti-doping. Nowhere speaks to repealing Title 32, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2. So let's not misinform the public. We are saying let's suspend and hold these rules in abeyance, specifically to Title 32, Chapter 11, Subchapter 2, until this stuff is rectified. So do not paint any false narrative about Senator Javon James Sr. I'm not repealing that section of the code. It's for the interim. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
All time have expired. Madam Clerk, roll call on amendment number 35-271. 35-271. Roll call.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden.
Yea.
Senator Blyden, yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr., yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Capehart, absent. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, nay. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Yes. Senator DeGraff, yea. Senator Ray Fonseca. Yes. Senator Fonseca, yea. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr. Senator Francis Jr., absent. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Senator Francis Heiliger, nay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, yea. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins, nay. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator James, absent. Senator Javon E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., yea. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Johnson, absent. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yea. Senator Milton Potter. No. Senator Potter, nay. Mr. President, we have 7 yeas, 4 nays, 4 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The amendment has carried. Any other amendment? Hearing none, motion and bill number 35-0054 as amended, and act amended Title 1, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 7, Section 103B, relating to the Centennial Treasurers Award to provide for a single lump sum award payment. Roll call on the bill as amended.
Senator Marvin A. Blyden.
Yea.
Senator Blyden. Yea. Senator Angel L. Bolkes Jr. Senator Bolkes Jr. Yea. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Senator Diane T. Capehart. Absent. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Samuel Carrion. Not voting. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Yes. Senator Ray Fonseca. Senator Ray Fonseca, yes. So, Senator Novelli Francis Jr. Senator Novelli Francis Jr. Absent. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. No. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger. Nay. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Yes. Senator Donna Fred Gregory. Yes. Senator Kenneth L. Gittens. Senator Kenneth L. Gittens, yea. Senator Maurice C. James. Senator Maurice C. James, absent. Senator Giovanni James Sr. Senator James Sr., yes. Senator Franklin D. Johnson. Senator Franklin D. Johnson, absent. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Carla J. Joseph, yes. Senator Milton Potter. Senator Milton Potter, yes. Mr. President, 9 yea, 1 nay, 4 absent, 1 not voting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Bill number 35-0054 as amended, and act amended Title 1, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 7, Section 103B, relating to the Centennial Treasurers Award to provide for a single lump sum award payment, have been voted on favorably in this Committee of the Whole and will be sent to the Governor for his signature and approval. Colleagues, it's been a long day. Some of our colleagues had to leave to catch a flight back to St. Croix. As we know, we have a real serious problem when it comes to transportation, inter-island transportation, and I look forward to Port Authority and the other agency working on their behalf. I want to thank my colleagues for being here this evening, media, staff, Central Staff Security, for being here with the committee of the session of April 14th, 2023 is hereby adjourned.